Yeah, just under 15 minutes away from the first on course for the Adequan WEF Challenge. First round time allowed at 73 seconds. Measured at 455 meters, 73 seconds. First round time allowed. 10 o'clock for the top of the order, just under 15 minutes from now.
Well, a very good morning from here in Wellington. Morning for us, wherever it is you are watching in the world. I hope it is a nice enough day. It's a gorgeous day here. Just to remind you, we're in southern Florida. The sun is out, a little bit of breeze around, and perfect surroundings for our $116,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Here, as I say, the morning class of the day, the 5-star that will take us into our qualifying and our reverse order of this for Saturday night's Modon Grand Prix as well. So lots on the line here, lots of money on the line for this class too, but also, as I say, has an implication for what is to come as well. Michael Duffy will start us off for the Irish rider with BE Skyhawk, a combination that finished top 10 in the Fidelity 5-star Grand Prix here 2 weeks ago for the highly... And has an early rail for them at the double at 3A and B. 2 strides there. They turn back to the wall for 1.55 meters. Should come up on the 5 strides down there to the Buckeye Nutrition fence, Lemire fence at 6 with the water underneath. And then 6 up to the Lugano double should they hold up there. 5-6 can play with that one a little bit. Now round here to the triple bar, 185 in spread. And just unfortunately carries on through on the 4-stride distance there up to the red vertical to have a second down for them. And should take them on a nice steady 6 to the finish at 13 at the plank. Total of 8, 71.28. For the first go, time allowed of 73 seconds, so it gives us an indication of the achievability of that as well. Fairly efficient line there from Michael too, but leaves them on the 8. Stephanie Machera now to go for Brazil for the Bonchance Farm, Toulouse van Prinsenveld Z. Second of a lineup of a total of 42, 40 into our Grand Prix on Saturday night as well. With the Zangazide mare by Tangelo, the Modon double just dropping for them. And Lugano double following up for them too. I think they're going to potentially call it a day there already. Yeah. Stephanie Machera and Toulouse deciding to retire at that point. Second combination of this $116,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup this morning. New ride for Stephanie there, just done a couple of the 4 stars and jumped in Ocala last week in the supporting classes too. Jumped some nice clears up there, but just not quite coming together in the qualifier here this morning. Now, rider who's been winning on a regular basis here through the circuit too. Luis Fernando Razabal, and the rider for Venezuela with Baroness for Leanne Ablin. As I say, plenty of wins on the cards, including last week out on the grass. There's a mare by Balus Bellini. We're putting him well up the order of international rider rankings as well, but won the week 6 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup with this horse. gathering them back up to take care going into the Lugano. Unfortunately comes down for them at 1:55 on the way in there. And it will be interesting to see time-wise where they sit with this comparing to Michael Duffy's. Carrying 2 down though as they go. Has to balance back for the plank at the last. Time is going to be fine, 69.32. Bearing in mind the time allowed of 73 seconds. So it is, though, 2 down on the way for Luis Fernando Larrazabal and Baroness for last week's WEF winners. Now Katie Dynan and Cordani PS. Katie, former winner of World Cup qualifiers, finished top 10s at the World Cup final as well. Grand Prix winner here previously too. It's by Beluda Reventon, which was a stallion we saw jumping here on a number of occasions. Now for the Grand Road Partners of New York. That recent success coming with Out of the Blue. She'd been sharing this ride with trainer Beat Manley. It's actually a former ride of Andre Thiemer last season of Germany. Andre, who heads over here to the US, in fact, was jumping up in Ocala last week, but he won the European Championships in 2021. Producer of a very good list of horses through. Just a little stretch and look at the water. Comes out of the double well, though, on the 4 at the moment. A little skinny, and then up to the Mars Oxa at 9, 160 in spread. Just on the 4, again, they're going to be thinking a little of qualifying. This should, I think, most go through to the Grand Prix this week, but also say for qualifying, it's going to be their times and how they score. So that's one of the big factors in here. They're going to have 1 for time there, 73.74. It is Katie Dynan just on a total of 5 overall then with Cordani PS. Peter Lutz coming into view after another good shot just last week with this 11-year-old mare, Catriona for Lustus Tuteri. And Grand Prix winner already this season as well. Has just, again, looked better and better as they started to move up the ranks this year again. Good solid finish last week as well, out on the grass in preparation. Finished top 4 just last week in the WEF Challenge Cup, behind that of Luis Fernando that we've already seen. Early rail for them as well. Move up nicely in the 5 up to the Buckeye fence. Just a little light touch. And the skinny puts 8 on the scorecard. Just a little bend of the line up to the farm vet. Also coming home on the 8. Nice steady finish. Time's going to be okay, 71.71, but going to leave them on a total of 8 there for Peter Lutz and Catriona early on. So Katie Dynan, the best of the early scores with 5 gone in this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup here this morning. Stella Wasserman now. And Precious Duise Hagen for the Belgian-bred mare by Cornet Obolensky for the 20-year-old. Now again, more and more exposure into the 5 stars so far this season. Been jumped in the Grand Prix here 2 weeks ago as well. A little bit of a stronger rub in the Modon double. Nice forward shot down that line, and again balancing back up on the corner, ready for this water tray. Well through the double. Lands, gets the go up to the Mars Equestrian. Wait. Time should be good. Just a little bit of a keenness into that double in the end. Just going to cost them the 4. They were very close. Thought that was going to be maybe our first clear. But just leaves them on the 4. 70.74 there for Stella Wasserman and Precious Duise Hagen. Puts them on the 4 as the best score so far. Very early stages of the 42 in all to go in this $116,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Carlos Henke Guerrero to go now for the H5 Sport Horses. And this will be H5 Shack Attack, one we saw quite a bit of last year, going well in the Grand Prix as well. In fact, he was a Grand Prix winner here at Wellington for the 25-year-old. Shack Attack jumping here on the 5-star week as well 2 weeks ago. Just starting to move, actually had a break since middle of last year, since Aachen. So really just returning to the top flight at the moment. Last year we saw them onto the Nations Cup as well for Team Mexico. That'll be coming up next week. Before we get ahead of ourselves. Quietens up down to this Lugano double. No shortage of scope and ability through there. Just took that on a little fraction of an angle to the left. Just a light drop on the 1 down for them. And otherwise a very good round. But it is just going to be on the 4, 71.15 4 there for Carlos Guerrero and H5 Shack Attack. So another to go on the list of 1 down. Now Eduardo de Menezes to go next. The rider was went very well to win yesterday. And part of the same H5 team as Carlos Hank, who's just gone. Now for the Pan Am gold medalist, 2016 Olympian. Comes here with Aussie Van de Bisschop, pair that was second in the World Cup qualifier in Ocala last week. So should come in ready and set to go. They've just been building up nicely through the season so far. Just really start to head into their peaks. Just a catch behind in the Lugano double, so also on the 4. The 4's getting spread around now. Just that little bend to the right, up to the farm vet. Coming home on the 4, time is so far proving that it's achievable all right. 69.94. Time allowed is 73 seconds, so also just on the 4 there for Eduardo de Menezes of Brazil. H5, Aussie Van de Bisschop. So still looking for the first of the clears here this morning. Going in the traditional format this week, it'll be clears back in the same order, but like I say, result of this class will also flip things around for the Grand Prix itself. Christian Kukuk, the world ranked number 5. 5 of the world's top 10 here this week. For the Rolex, twice Rolex Grand Prix winner here in Wellington. Back to back with those. New set of horses really coming into the frame this year, into this level. It's one that was originally in Mexico, then via France with Olivier Perrault, before finding home with Christian Kukuk, Katrin Stollmeyer, here in Wellington with Christian this season. Just starting to build up with this 11-year-old mare. It's the first time they're going into the actually second time they're going to the 5-star classes. They did the supporting classes last season in Ocala as well. I think pace is going to be a problem. Come in on the inside 8. They can go either 8 or 9 down there, but this is going to be easily inside the time and looking good there at 67.12. But the key part is the first. The clear is going to Christian Kukuk and Fantasia Devay for Germany. So he puts the first clear on the board in the spot he likes, going first into that jump off as well. Christian Kukuk first the top 10 as well to make themselves known into that group this morning as well. Pablo Milito to go next for Argentina with the Argentinian-bred 10-year-old stallion Henrietta Veron. So first clear in this $116,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Couple of combinations jumping this week that are also an aim towards Nations Cup next week as well. Pablo, who was here with this very same horse this time last year, jumping at the Nations Cup show. Right, who doesn't get as much ring time in the FEI classes. It's the sole horse into the international ranks right now. Just loses the push on the way out of the double there, so both parts going down. And yeah, just trying to gather them back into a rhythm as they were going, but unfortunately not working out there at the skinny. So I think he's also going to head on out. So Pablo Melito deciding to retire. Now, Erin Ballard of Canada. Fave the Tweet is going to be at the ride for a Lamfjorda. French-bred gelding by Cornet Obolensky. Now, after a good result in the last couple of weeks here too. She finished 7th in the 5-star Grand Prix here, the Fidelity Grand Prix here 2 weeks ago. She's been going very well through the also Hermes series here. In the jump off 2 weeks ago for the Fidelity Grand Prix, had just 4 in that second round. Just drops the fence then out of the Logano double as they push to come out. The Ox are on the way out. Moves them up to the water tray. Again, you've got to just start thinking about time as well, because position will make a difference, and of course also depends on the prize money of this class goes in the end, depending on how many clears. So that an unknown factor too at the moment. 69.82 just on the 4. Erin Ballard and Fave the Tweet is actually going to be the fastest of the 4s, and so goes into 2nd at the moment. Eduardo de Menezes going down into 3rd with Ozzy van der Bishop on 69.94. Gabriel de Manos Machado now. Qatar is the gelding by Canaan for the Baywinds Equestrian here in Wellington. Has Lemieux fence, so as I say, spreading around the fences down so far. This a ride that he picked up in August last year. Formerly ridden in a chunk of last year with Brian Mulgrave of the US as well, but also previous to that over in Europe with João Victor Castro of Brazil. And the 10-year-old just making the move up now really into these classes. The first season they'll be doing into 5-star on the 8 at the moment, and completes on 71.90, so 8 in total for Gabriel de Manos Machado and Qatar this time around. Adrian Sterlich now. Another former Grand Prix winner here in Wellington. Now Los Angeles de la Sens for the Starlight Farms of Greenwich, Connecticut. Ottawa Grand Prix winner last year. That was back into August. Just a little touch in the mode on double, but it is going to cost them. Actually, it does put them on 4 already early on. At least to get an early 4 gives them a chance to move on time-wise. How much that is really in their mind, I'm not so sure, but just gets low into the skinny. Both down the line, putting on a total of 12. Really a pair that have been jumping in the 2 stars this season so far. Finished last year jumping in the 5 stars out in California. Looking better finish down this line. Yeah, had to take circles, so we're 20 for jumping, 12 for time, 84.77 there for Adrian Sternlicht and Los Angeles. So puts them out of the running.
Well, clear so far, coming from Germany's Christian Kulik with Fantasia. Belgian rider to join us on course next, Nicola Philipparts with Adequan WEF on Team Philipparts and Family Lenses.
Nicola Philipparts of Belgium. Team Philipparts and Family Lenses. Cornetago PS is the 10-year-old big powerful grey that we've seen several times this season now by Cornet de Lee for the world number 15. He also featured on WEF Weekly this week, if you haven't seen that yet, onto the USCF network or also on the Wellington website as well, and through our social media too. You can see him talking alongside Cian O'Connor and Isabelle Werth as well. So 3 top-class riders in discussion. And again, he said about where they were, the plan is this week. We'll see where Cornetago and how Cornetago goes into this Grand Prix qualifier. I'd say he's looked impressive so far this season. He's been spending more time out in the States as well. Finished last year with good performances in thermal. At the Desert Horse Park there. Big, powerful 10-year-old that was very well in the BMW Masters in Mechelen, which is where they keep raising the fences, which you can see with this horse's scope and ability would have suited this as well as a 9-year-old. Just leaves the front legs, unfortunately, behind themselves as they go over the Mars equestrian fence. So also another on the long list of 4s so far. 6 of those, I think, at the moment. I say well spread out in terms of where fences are dropping. Last line, they all seem to be handling pretty well. So just on the 4, 69.69. 4 there for Nicola Philipparts and Cornetagos PS to leave them on 1 down as well. In fact, they go as the fastest 4 Falter now, so into second. Remember, only 1 clear at this stage with Christian Kulik and Fantasia.
Already a winning rider on the Adequan WEF Challenge Series this season.
In the Malavé of France now for the Rain Family Dynasty de Beaufort, the French-bred mare by Edmond Simi for the world number 8, the 25-year-old. Outstanding year last year. And again, following it up with a continued accurate riding. For the Rolex Series Grand Prix winner. Now, she was top 3 in the Fidelity Grand Prix here 2 weeks ago. So another good shot this week. Comes close around the lighthouse, not to waste any time there as well. Time-wise, shouldn't be an issue. Just a nice, quiet, steady 6 down here, and we are job done. Second of the clears, 69.33. It is clear round number 2 there, coming from Nina Malave and Dynasty de Belfort. So 2 now, which means we do have a jump off. Christian Kukuk and Nina Malave, both from the world's top 10.
Number 33 in the world standings, and from Ireland, and this is Jordan Coyle with the Falkirk Farms.
Jordan Coyle. He's finished well in the 5-star Grand Prix here before, in fact, on the podium with this horse for gold. He's been several times a 5-star winner as part of the Major League Series a couple of seasons ago as well. For gold, that also had such a very good run at Spruce Meadows previously. Last year with an absolute string of wins there. The biggest horse, but tries all the way. Just back on that for a brief moment, and then a second one dropping. And the last, it just starts to unravel towards the end, unfortunately. So a total of 12, 68-28 was looking pretty good from up to that triple bar. But beyond that, it put them on a dozen. And so into 13th for Jordan Coyle, and previous podium finishes in the 5 stars for gold. Holding us at the 2 clears, Nina Malave and Christian Kukuk so far. Cian O'Connor now of Ireland. Coolmore Show Jumping's Ulysses. For the world number 22. Finished well with Kentucky, which might well be his Grand Prix ride just last week in the World Cup qualifier in Ocala as well. Jumped Chatelain UPS, which, as he talked about with us last night on WEF Weekly, could be a horse aimed towards the World Championships as well this year. But again, if you want to know more, you can watch that episode and see him talk about it. The same horse he rode in the qualifier on week 5 as well. Been with his team for a little while now, this horse. Actually, Beth Underhill who's also on his roster of riders jumping this last year and this. Now going back to Cian O'Connor. Jump round for just the 4 in the previous qualifier. Looking like they might build on that yet. 3 from home. Time again not going to be an issue. And adds the third of clears. Cian O'Connor and Ulysses will be the third on the list now. Again, staying with our high-class group of riders. So builds on the round from a couple of weeks ago. Bertram Allen in fine form, winning the Grand Prix last week. It was the fourth time, in fact, he'd won that very Grand Prix. See Grand Prix wins here at Wellington. The other 2 were 5-star Grand Prix wins here as well, if we're basing on that list. This is the Loga Stables Conquest de Rigo, guided by Phantom Astamuse for Bertram. 10 years of age, but last year got a lot of really good big results as a 9-year-old too. Bertram, former 5-star Grand Prix winner with Pacino Amiro, which is actually the horse he rode to win last week. Bertram, who was second with this horse in the NetJets Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. Well, a little longer than that now. Jumping nicely on the horse that he rode to be part of the winning team in Le Ball last year on the Rolex Series in the Nations Cup there. 68.67 and produces the clear there for Bertram Allen. Continues the good form here, so it is clear round number 4 for a very strong group. Now certainly getting the keys of Antti D'Ambrosio's course. Let's say some well-established riders in there as well. A couple of horses on the way up, some are well-established too. This here is of the US now, the Bridgeside Farms of Las Vegas, Nevada's Verinio Dismec. For Bliss, who's been 5-star Grand Prix winner before now as well. Some wonderful successes down in Mexico too. He's been on winning teams here for the US as well. Bliss, who was jumping this horse here in the latter part of last year as well. The 2 FEI shows there, which gives them good preparation for this. Coming in nicely, and should be okay for time. Yep, 71.66, so suddenly 3 in a row as we get clear round number 5 with Bliss Hears and Verinio Dismec, as they produce the 0 as well, alongside Bertram Allen, Cian O'Connor, Nina Malave, and Christian Kukuk so far.
We'll see two more before the midway break, and the first of those two will welcome on a top 100 ranked rider, Egypt's Nail Nassar, our next to go.
Well, Nassar heading in, the Egyptian Olympian with the Evergate stables of Wellington's Igor. Gelding by Cooper van der Heffing. This was his horse for the Olympics and World Championships. Now another winner of Grand Prix here, won last year with ESIR Lee as well. Now Igor, 18 years of age. Again, being targeted where is suited by this point. Coming out for the big shows. Jumped here just a couple of weeks ago in preparation, but jumped the supporting classes there. We'll see what the plan is this week for Nael come the Grand Prix. But let's deal with what's on the plate right now. Just getting back in the groove for a pair that have been through to championships for a number of years. Just knocked some rust off the other day and then all set to go. Hunting on down to this Palm Beach equine double and just gets a little bit close to it. Just can leave them on the 4. Overall good round, but just on one down at 16-9-16 for Nail Nassar and Igor. But again, the fences being well spread. So 5 clears at the moment. In fact, a quick round from Nael. It's the fastest 4. So goes into 6th place at the moment, so still in for some good prize money, but also, importantly, leaves them fairly well up come qualifying for Saturday, as well as they'll flip the order. Nicola Philippart's in that group, Erin Ballard, Eduardo de Menezes, Stella Wasserman, Carlos Hank and Katie Dynan. What's 7 of those on 4 faults? Now Lily Keenan, Aganda Belliard in the hunt 2 weeks ago in the big 5-star here as well. 2 wins for her this season, including the NetJets Grand Prix as well. She was jumping faster yesterday, so whether that will be the flip around of the horses for the Grand Prix, not so sure. Don't want to second guess that one too much. Argon, who's just such a lovely championship type horse as well, jumps a lot of clears. She's been building a new Swift partnership with Highway as well, that she rode to top 3 in the qualifier here 2 weeks ago. 4th place in the Fidelity Grand Prix itself with this very same horse. Argyle, now 16 years of age, but was also her winning Nations Cup horse last year for the US. Well, several successes. But then notably their double clear in Aachen as well. Just moves up to this triple bar. And, one of the very few to have the last down, unfortunately, but it is all going to count. 71-26, just on the 4, made a good effort. Was really trying through that double, but just caught up with him at the plank. And so 71-26 into 12th for Lily Keenan and Argyle de Belliard, but I'm sure we'll see her on Saturday night as well. into the Modon Grand Prix. First half completed of this $116,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. 5 clears so far. Let's remind you of those. Christian Kukuk and Fantasia, Bertram Allen, Conquest Arrigo, Nina Malave, Dynasty to Bill 4, Kino Connor, Ulysses, and Bliss Hears and Forinho Desmec are the clears at this stage. That's making for a very tidy and tasty jump off, depending on what their plans are. And I say good money on the table today as well. $116,000 class here for this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Our thanks to Adequan once again. Long-time supporters here in Wellington as well. And as the tractors head on in, we'll take a little short break. But there's our 5 at this point. A very strong 5-2 for Ireland, including in there with Bertram and Kian. Lead-off will be the Olympic champion Christian Kukuk and the USA waving the flag with Bliss Hears, and France represented with world number 8, Nina Malave.
Bainbridge is a fully integrated multifamily real estate company who have developed and acquired more than 43,000 units, representing $8.5 billion in transactions since inception. With over 650 associates nationally, Bainbridge engages in virtually every step of the real estate process, from development and construction, acquisition and disposition, asset management, and third-party management of multifamily real estate. Bainbridge is an award-winning, nationally ranked developer, owner, and builder of luxury multifamily communities across the eastern U.S. and Southeast. Our team of experienced and knowledgeable professionals is devoted to creating exceptional living experiences for all of our residents and building lasting and mutually beneficial relationships with our partners and clients. Bainbridge is headquartered in Wellington, Florida, with offices and apartment communities across Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Texas, Virginia, and Maryland. As we continue to grow, we are actively expanding our footprint across the Midwest, Southeast, and Mid-Atlantic markets. To learn more, visit www.bainbridgecompanies.com.
And getting set for the second half of this $116,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. And taking us into part two, Rodrigo Pessoa now and Prince van Eickenlohe for the Rio Equestrian. And newer ride for the very decorated Olympian. Into the Challenge Cup just a few weeks ago here as well as part of week 5. Like I say, new ride for him. Former rider Roger Bost of France, who achieved so much. Roger from European champion, actually won the Hong Kong Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. Was first to go in the Grand Prix on Fidelity Week. With this 11-year-old gelding, jumped with Roger out in a 5-star in spring last year in France. Oh, 5 clears to date. 1 from home. Time allowed of 73. Just going to catch the last fence. Not the first to do that. Just on the 4, so puts them in 13th place, 72.37 for Rodrigo Pessoa and Prince van Eickenlohe. So they will finish just on that list of those on the 4 faults. The moment goes 13th. And just around, I think, 8 of those on 4 faults. Génial de Berneville for Canada, for Mario Deslauriers, Luge LLC of New York. Now the 10-year-old stallion, Mario, moving up with a couple of 10-year-old combinations this year, just starting really into these 5 stars. But a man with an amazing history in Olympics and World Championships. We'll sure get the best out of them this season. Little touch at the Lugano. And looking good. So Mario Deslauriers, Génial de Berneville, 68.82 as a time, but the key is clear and gives us the 6th clear of our list so far. And so it gives us the first clear of the second half. 6 clears now. Brian Conan now of the USA, Glen Bay Farms, Castlefield Dream. And now 15-year-old gelding by Clinton. Lengths up nicely down to the Buckeye, but also has had a fence down already. Early rail for him at just that Adequan fence. Fence 2. Yeah, that finished last year off well, just again runs out of space through that double and just doesn't make the last. So a total of 16 plus 1 actually for time, 17 in all, 73.03. 17 for Brian Cannan and Castlefield Dream. Now René Dittmer and the horse he rode to win the Hampton Classic Grand Prix. Corsica. For Mark Menez, the mare by Connor 48. Took a little breather last week. He finished second in the MS Classic with Cody here on the final day of Fidelity Week. Corsica also jumping the Grand Prix during the Fidelity Grand Prix just on the 4. Finished 11th spot overall, so it's just in the money. Now for this year's, or rather last year's, Highlands Cup winning combination as well, up in New York. Comes home on the 8. Leaves the plank all right, but it's going to be 8 fault 69.82. René Dittmer and Corsica the 10th. Takes them out of the equation, and so still holding at the 6 clears. Mark Blumen for Columbia now, the over-the-top stables Landon. Now for Mark, who again has finished well with this horse this season too. Won the Challenge Cup on week 4. It's one of our week saver on the field. With a former Ken Farrington ride, Mark starting on this horse in December last year at Thermal with Daniel Blumen previous to that, so just moving things around between them. Mark, always a danger if he's into the jump off as well. As they jump so superbly just back onto week 4. And so we'll do the same again here and gives us the next the clears. 7 clears so far. Mark Blumen there for Columbia with Landon. Now, Natalie Dean of the USA, the Marigold Sport Horses, Mr. Boombastic. The rider originally hailing from California. The French bred gelding by Vigo CC. This former ride of Dennis Lynch of Ireland started this year very well with top 3 in the 4-star Grand Prix as well at the end of January. At first, real sort of step up with the NetJets Grand Prix there that was won by Lily Keenan this year. But early rail for her as well, as it's been for several. Again, just travels on through the red vertical. Another one joining the list of 8s. Time should be okay. It's going to be 8 overall, 70.64. Like I say, newer partnership through 2 sets of shows so far, but just this the first time they've gone through to a 5-star class with Mr. Boombastic. And so 8 faults there for a time of 70.64 for Natalie Dean. Ben Mayer now, world number 3, who was second into our 5-star Grand Prix for that Fidelity Week as well. Already wins on the cards for him this season. And specifically with Ginger Blue. Now, Corlander. Corlander had a little more of a quiet start in yet into 2026. Ben with a fantastic string of horses that he's able to rotate through. Again, good management for this, again, 10-year-old. Jumped in the classic, the supporting classes here 2 weeks ago, but before that took a breather. Oh, and a problem there at the water tray, unfortunately. Comes back to it. Gets them over the second of the water trays there, but again, looking for a stronger finish, just not quite happening today, unfortunately. But it is 20 jumping plus time there for Ben Mayer and Corlander. That's a little bit of a blip in what is actually a pretty good record of those two. Unusual day at the office for that pairing. Shane Sweetnam coming into view for the Irish rider, also part of the world's top 20. Corian van Klapschut said for VoQuest, the horse he rode to the Grand Prix win out on the field back for week 4 as well. It's been a 5-star Grand Prix winner here previously with Alejandro. The Comme il faut side gelding. Shane looking to join our list so far. 7 clears at the moment. Pair that established themselves well last year, including second in the Devon Grand Prix. What a similar class, supporting class in the 5-star last week up in Ocala as well for this pair. Comes out with the plank down. So going to leave him on the 4 as well. Shane Sweetnam and Corian van Klapschutt drops them down to 8th place at 68.48. Dara Kenny now for Ireland and Eddie Blue. Now also part of the world's top 25. Next, the Irish combinations already. Ireland through with Bertram Allen and Cian O'Connor at the moment. Bertram Allen had been riding this horse well in the last few weeks. Actually won the qualifier for week 3. Now returning back to the saddle of Dara Kenny. Dara, former 5-star winner here as well with Amsterdam. Nice, quiet, balanced round so far. Little touch there at the double. Time should be fine. And he will leave the plank up. And so 68.83 will take us to the 8th clear with Dara Kenny and Carol Stolak's Eddie Blue now on the list too. 3 there for Ireland as well. With Dara, as I mentioned, joining Bertram and Cian so far. But Germany in there, Christian Kukuk, Mario Delorier, Nina Malave, Mark Blumen for Colombia, and US representative is Bliss Hears at this stage. Eugenio Garza now of Mexico, El Milagros, Chaloris PS. The stallion by Chaco Blue. For the Mexican Olympian. Well, let's add to the list of having just that second fence down. All of them playing their part here this morning. Oh, and just catches the pole, puts them off their pace as they go through the second part there. Rightly just pulls up. Already jumped well here in the NetJets Grand Prix back at the end of January here. Took a break after Spruce Meadows as well, back in September. And he just might well come back to the first fence. Yeah. Just unfortunately got unsettled through there, so rightly just leaving them on a good confident note, just quietly jumping the first again. Charlotte Jacobs of the US now with the North Stars. Playboy JTZ by Presley Boy is the 11-year-old for Charlotte. Charlotte on the winning team here, previously in the Nations Cup as well. Took a little bit of a break at the end of last year too, and then has been really setting herself up again back into this season. Early runs in Ocala, then here to Wellington as well. Playboy jumping the World Cup last week too, but up at the show there. Jumped the similar class to this, but 12 on that occasion. So it was a horse that she rode to win the Nations Cup here last year as part of that successful home team. Final run, looking to add a second American flag into the jump off if they can. Just the last. And they'll leave that there as well. Nice return into the big time here. It's 70.25 is a time. And the 9th clear going to the next of the US riders to Charlotte Jacobs and Playboy in the frame. Roberto Duran in the meantime now. The Colombian with DSP Callas, who's previously been second in the Rolex Grand Prix here. Callas also jumping the NetJets Grand Prix here back at the end of January. She jumped clear in the first round, but had 12 in the jump off. Trying to chase down for the lead. For this 14-year-old mare that's jumped a string of 5-star Grand Prix through her career. That was very close in the World Cup last year in Traverse City. Just had that one time fault there for them. Keeping it clear, leaves the last up, and so will take us into double figures. It is clear round number 10, coming from Roberto Terán of Colombia and DSP Callas this time around. So puts a second in for Colombia, in fact, with Mark Blumen already on that list. Raleigh Hyler now of the US. The rider from Boston, Massachusetts, with Kurt Hyler's Abora's Chloe. Now the Chaco Blue side mare for Raleigh Hyler. One of the younger riders in the field that's been moving up well over the last 12 months. Good encouragement down to the Logano double. Jumped some of the five-star Grand Prix here last year. Notably this very same week as well. Unfortunately, both parts of the double coming for them. Not unusual to be one to be followed by the other. It's a total of 869.73. 8 there for Raleigh Hyler and Abora's Chloe. So holding at the 10 clears so far. Seven combinations left to come, including Richie Vogel now of Germany and Comet. The 10-year-old gelding by Canaan for the winner of the Fidelity Grand Prix here 2 weeks ago. Again, back with Gangster Mondésir this week, but choosing this horse for the qualifier. As European champion, he'd also be automatically qualified for the Grand Prix. First time for him out in these classes here in Wellington with this horse, and several horses of which he's been a little swap around with Sophie Hinners as well, within the same stable. Just unfortunately has that fence down. It's got a little unsteady there at the Mars fence, but I'd say first big track that this pairing have jumped together, just coming in on the 4. We'll add another. 8 in total, 64.45. It is 8 there for Richie Vogel and Comet 306. So holding at the 10 clears so far. Now, Fontana, who finished second back in one of the early Grand Prix here. In fact, he was equal second with Marilyn Little. Kinmar Quality Hero, one of 6 left to go. This one for the Castlewood Farms for the 24-year-old. Already again starting to make a move up the world rankings. Top 4 in the speed class in the 5-star here 2 weeks ago as well. This was Horsey Road to that second spot. The Palm Beach Sports Commission Grand Prix. Jumped the Grand Prix here 2 weeks ago, but 2 down on that occasion. But again, was their first big competition of the year. They have done a few 5 stars, just started to do some 5-star Grand Prix into last year as well. Just on the 4. At the moment, fast forward still put them in some money. Shops down into the Palm Beach Equine Clinic back bar and last stand as well. So total of 12 overall, 67.52 for Tana Karotkin and Kinmar Quality Hero, leaving 5 left. So just coming into our final few, balanced up with the 5 clears, I think 1 in each of the sections, each half so far. And again, they'll go in that same order. Just awaiting Zoe Hank-Conter. Zoe Hank-Conter, McLean Ward, Spencer Smith, Laura Crouch, and Simon Vidman as the final few to go here. Now, second in the Grand Prix last week. Zoe was riding Tombola Z then. This is going to be H5 Cacophony. And with the H5 Sport Horses. Husband Carlos Hank going a little earlier on. Got married last year. With this by Chaco Blue out of Stephanie. Good start yesterday as well for this pair, so hopefully translating that into today's Adequan Grand Prix qualifier. Just a momentary hesitation over that water train, so just dropping the 4 at the moment for Zoe. So it's back to keep them off the skinny. Coming home on just 4 and time of 70.69. We'll just put them outside the money in 16th spot, just 1 down for Zoe Hank-Conter there and H5 Cacophony. So remaining with the 10 clears at this point with 4 left to go. McLean Ward now. Marta Maddox's Lestro for the next of the world's top 10. In fact, world number 10, McLean Ward. McLean, this horse that came to his stable in October last year, formerly with Mark Affinity of Ireland. Just started to take them through the ranks now. Has only just recently moved them up into the 5-star. In fact, jumped last week in the World Cup show in the supporting 5-star classes. Just one of the few to have the skinny down, but just a light drop there. We'll just start to build with this pair. Coming home on the 8 faults, 71.54, McLean Ward and Lestro with 2 down this time. Like as I say, step up in ranks for that horse in the last couple of seasons. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of them as they develop through 2026. 3 left to come. Spencer Smith now. And the Ashton Farm and Stormridge Capitals Keeneland. Well established now from Dublin Nations Cup winning combination. For Spencer, this is a pair that jumped into the 5 stars here last year as well. She was, what, second in the World Cup qualifier in Traverse City back into September. So should be an established pair. Not done too much so far this year, but were top 6 in the Grand Prix here 2 weeks ago on week 5 in that Fidelity Grand Prix. So comes in with some good form. Clear in 4 that week. And again, has been jumping consistent clears and 4s throughout the tail end of last year and into this. Just catch it. I think they just caught that. Yes, red farm vet fence. Unfortunately, not by much. He was just trying to hold it back. You see, he was just leaning into the saddle, holding them off it, but unfortunately, just didn't quite come off. 68.59, and so just the 4 for Spencer Smith. He goes into 12th place, and just leaves the 2 left to go. Farm vet going back into the cups. Laura Kraut now, Très bien Z for the St. Bride's Farm. A pair that won the World Cup qualifier in Washington last year and took a little bit of a breather. Laurie was just on the sidelines for a couple of weeks here, didn't jump the 5-star week for the Fidelity week, so will no doubt come out strong here, I'm sure. Good round, and so going clear. 69.59, and well back into the frame now for Laura Crouch and Très bien Z for the President's Cup winners, and so gives us clear round number 11. at the moment in prime position come that jump off. Still a little bit to go with one left. And that one is for Germany, Simon Widman, and the mare by Classic Bois Margot is Courlet d'Enfer. His first season here in Wellington. A little touch there. So the established pairings going through to the jump off, 11 of those in all. Laura Crouch will be the last of those with Très Bien Z. And just adds, so I was about to say a fast four still just gets in the money, but the result of that becomes academic now as Shane Sweetenham goes into 12th, Spencer Smith in 13th. Coming home on the 12, and the round done at 69.56 for Simon Widman and Courlet d'Enfer. So 11 returning for the jump off of this $116,000 Adequan 5-star WEF Challenge Cup here on a beautiful morning. Not much morning left yet, but a beautiful morning here in Wellington. Sun shining, just a touch of breeze, little cloud cover overhead, and some top-class jumping to come up. With Christian Kukuk to lead off that jump-off, Nina Malave, Dynasty de Beaufort, Keane O'Connor and Ulysses, Bertram Allen, Conquest Arrigo. We'll see whether they all intend to go. Bliss Hears, Frenu Desmic for the US. First, the US riders to go into that jump-off. Mario Delaurier, Genial de Benneville will give us the 6th on the list so far, and that'll take us, well, roughly halfway stage with 11 in, so 5.5. Mark Blumen with Landon for Columbia, 1 of 2 for Columbia. Derek Kenny adds the 3rd for Ireland with Eddie Blue. Charlotte Jacobs flies the flag for the US with Playboy. Roberta Teran is back. Then it'll be US rider Laura Crouch to round things off with Très Bien Z. That is what it is aimed to be as the jump-off order, and we'll be back in a few minutes' time for this $116,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup 11. It's been a total of 42 in the first round, reduced now to 11 to fight it out for the prize money. And, of course, the top qualifying spot for the Modon Grand Prix here on Saturday. Well, getting set for the jump off of this $116,000 in the previous round as well. New fence 16, the Ida Development Vertical. Back to fence 2 in front of the Modon International Club, and then 3A, which is the Modon fence, to complete first part of what was the double. Now to the first up is Christian Kukuk from our world's top 10. Fantasia. As we saw, a horse that came from the Pascal family as well. And this is going to be the mare by Armitage Boy to start off. And we Adequan at 2 and then straight on to 3. Dynasty de Belfort for the Rain family. Very tight shot there. Gives them a little bit of space coming into that Palm Beach equine fence. And again, she gets away. Well, she's just a fraction up on the clock at the moment. Kukuk with a very efficient start, 43.63 to beat, but that could be already put into the shade by Nina Malafay, and it's going to be 40.89. She takes a good chunk off that lead already. And so Nina Malafay in front. 2 gone, 2 high-class riders from the world's top 10 to start us off. Of the high-class lineup now is going to be Cian O'Connor and the Coolmore Show Jumping's Ulysses. That is tight too. Really good move across that Bainbridge fence for Cian. Keeps him pretty tight on that of Nina Malafay's round. We'll get a split time on that as well and see. Oh, just going to leave that there. Maybe a little tighter. Tiniest fraction up. Now comes with that. With bravery and speed now, 40.89 to beat. It's going to be close between the two. He might just squeak it. Ooh, and only just 40.87. So 0.02 of a second will put Cian O'Connor in front of Nina Malafay. Nina's time 40.89. Cian's time 40.87. So the new leading time. So tiny, tiny moves between those, but enough to just squeak in front for Cian O'Connor very efficiently. Bertram Allen next. Bertram Allen with the ride now of Conquest de Rigo for the Aloga stables. Now for the 10-year-old for Bertram, Grand Prix winner last week. Second of the Irish shots at this. Second of 3. Bertram to be followed by Dara Kenny now. He just gets himself a little bit more space to get across on a left shot. Whether just as quick as Cian, we'll see. Yeah, just a little bit quicker actually. Yeah, that can be a little bit deceptive. He's maybe a little bit tighter to this if he pulls it off. 40.87 to beat. Bertram Allen looking for another win, and he should get, well, a chance at it because it's going to be there at 39.12. It is a second and a half quicker for Bertram Allen to move up the lead. Super efficient turns there. Bertram Allen gets ahead of Cian O'Connor, Nina Malafay in third. Christian Kukuk already in fourth. Changing hands with each as they go. So Bertram Allen now in front. Walking in is Bliss Hears and the Bridgeside Farms Frenu Desmec for the first of two for the US. So, handing from one to another. In theory, if we follow that same line, she'll just squeeze a little bit more yet. But Bertram Allen has not left a lot on there, and it's just been really good starting turns, specifically this one. Just gets across there nicely. Gives ourselves a bit more space here. She's just going a little bit steadier here. A little less exposure in these classes in recent times for this pair, so just coming really back into this, doing a sensible round to just get two double clears, well, get two clears under their belts, double them up, and there, that'll be nicely done. Steadier time at 45.23 there for Bliss Hears, but the zeros on the scorecard is the main thing for her. Going to leave that of Bertram Allen still in front. Maria Delorier taking a little bit of a squarer line there. Just a little bit steady, but again, a little less experienced ride into these five-star jump-offs yet. Really good, efficient round for them, tidily done. And so 42.40, going to fourth so far for Maria Delorier. Again, I think we'll be happy enough with that. And sets them up nicely, depending on his plans for the weekend. But Bertram Allen still leading at the moment, putting the pressure on. So Mark Blumen now of Columbia over the top stables at Landon. Pair that have the pace. This horse that's certainly a tryer, won a medal at Pan Am's with Kent Farrington as well. Went superbly with Mark in the last couple of weeks as well, and he's chasing down because a little fast pairing, but just unfortunately doesn't make it out of the double. Got a lovely shot there at the vertical, getting to the left. Just coming home on the 4. And time will look very good. It's going to be 39.70, so it would have gone second, but just one down, unfortunately, for that there of Mark Blumen. Puts them down into 7th place, leaving Bertram Allen in front. But it was just time-wise starting to put the Irishman under pressure. Dara Kenny, third of the Irish. Carol Solak's Eddie Blue. Like I say, Bertram Allen riding this horse to a win here just in the last few weeks as well. Now the world number 25 returning to the saddle. And he's not going to give this one away easily. Swift start. Just maybe a little bit more upbeat pace than that of Bertram. A little bit squarer there than Bertram's. So again, just loses time, but he is right up there for the time. Bertram's 39.12. Has a chance, and I'm sure he's going to take a run at this here. Has a very good shot at this for Dara Kenny. And could go well in front, 37.90. And there takes a good chunk off again. 2.5 there for Dara Kenny to now go in front with Eddie Blue ahead of Bertram Allen and Conquest Arrigo. It is Cian O'Connor and Ulysses in third. So leaving us with 3 left to go. In fact, just the one fence that's dropped so far, Mark Blumen and Landon. Times otherwise have been just getting faster and faster. Dara Kenny, Eddie Blue leads the pack. Bertram Allen in second. In fact, it's an Irish 1-2-3 at the moment. Just awaiting, I think Charlotte Jacobs due to come next. Charlotte Jacobs, Roberta Teran, and Laura Kraut, the remaining combinations. Looks like the Jacobs family just walking down, so they'll be heading to position to watch as Charlotte comes under the bridge. Down there with Claudio, part of the Kent Farrington team. Working with Charlotte. Charlotte Jacobs. Then look at rehearsal to the Adequan fence. Looking like she's going to mean business here. Just a little bit steadier than the leader. Doesn't mean that she's not in for a good spot here. Good shot back to the Adequan fence. Heading home for Charlotte Jacobs and Playboy. Going to be a good round under their belt as well. Under just over the 40 seconds, in fact. Looks as though it might be under. Goes into third. The best of the home riders. It is Charlotte Jacobs into third spot, 40.01. Now, 2 left to go. Roberto Teran. DSP Callas, good experienced pair with a chance here. Gives that a little bit more space, we'll see. We'll get a split time in a moment. And that's not going to matter. So Dara Kenny remains in front with Eddie Blue. He was just a little bit down like I expected, just short of a 1.5 seconds. Brings them home on the 4 at 41.25. So just the one down there for Roberto Teran and DSP Callas. So Dara Kenny, Bertram Allen, Charlotte Jacobs, top 3 so far with 1 left to come. That could upset the Irish party at the top of the table. And that is Laura Kraut. St Bride's Farms at Très Bien Z. So final combination to go in this $116,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Nice slice at the first. No, didn't get the spring off there in the double, so unfortunately not to be. But it does mean a win for Dara Kenny and Eddie Blue. Nora still bringing them home well. Just on the 4. And final fence leaves that in place. So 41.87, just the one down for Laura Crowd and Très Bien Z. And so they will finish in actually in 11th spot of the group. Dara Kenny, it's an Irish 1-2 with Birch Mallon finishing second. Charlotte Jacobs just breaking up the Irish domination of the top 3 with Cian O'Connor in 4th place with the Ulysses. It's top 5 for Nina Malave and Dynasty. 6th place to Mario Delorier and Génial de Benneville. 7th place to Fantasia and Christian Cook. And 8th place to Bliss Here's for the USA as well. But Dara Kenny claiming the first big 5-star class of the week of this Modon Week 7 here in Wellington. Bertram Allen in second, already having won a similar class with the very same horse with Eddie Blue. Now in second spot with Conquest Origo. Charlotte Jacobs in third there with Playboy, announcing her move back into the top flight this week as well. Cian O'Connor fourth with Ulysses. Nina Malave, of course, who was top 3 in our Grand Prix on the Fidelity Week. Returns for a top 5 here with Dynasty de Beaufort and Mario Delorier developing Génial de Benneville into 6th place for Canada. So presentation coming up. We're going to be back with tomorrow's speed qualifier as well. Like I say, they'll go in reverse order of qualifying. So Dara Kenny will go in pole position for the Modon Grand Prix here on Saturday night as well. Looking forward to that. Reminder too, if you're following dressage too, we're going to be with you on Friday night for dressage with, of course, Isabelle Vert, and delighted to have the most decorated of the equestrians, the Olympic multi-gold medalist competing here this week in Wellington as well. So she's going to be at the Dressage World Cup on Friday night. So make sure you can also join in for that. So you can do day and evening with us tomorrow here at Wellington, and of course Saturday night as well with the lead up from 6 o'clock from the pre-show into the Modon Grand Prix, then the Modon Grand Prix itself after 7 into the evening as well. But our winner here today is Dara Kenny and Eddie Blue, set to receive their blue. Very well done to them.
And first to make our way over to the Adequan fence for photos. Congratulations to the USA's Charlotte Jacobs, taking third on the double clear effort with a time of 40.01 with North Star's Playboy JTZ. U.S. rider Charlotte Jacobs third for the Adequan WEF Challenge Round 7. Second place rider to come forward now, and our Grand Prix winner on the grass last week. This is Ireland's Bertram Allen for the Aloga Stables with Conquest Dorigo. Double clear with a time of 39.12 over the jump off track to pick up the red rosette. And your winner for the WEF 7 installment of the Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, top 25 ranked rider, Ireland's Derek Kinney for Carol Solak with Eddie Blue, the winning time of 37.90 for the Irishman to take top call. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove cover for the national anthem of Ireland in honor of today's Adequan WEF Challenge winner, Derek Kinney. Yeah, congratulations again to our top three. Third award to the USA's Charlotte Jacobs. Second place honors going to last week's Grand Prix winner Bertram Allen with Conquista Rigo, and the top call for Derek Kinney and Eddie Blue, the entry owned by Carol Solak.